So, if you were giving advice to a young professional right now, coming right into the workforce, what would be the thing you most want them to understand?
I think the one thing would be it's going to be different. It's going to be an environment that has some norms that I think both sides of the equation need to understand, that need to mold. And when I say a norm, simple things like writing an email as opposed to a text message. They're very different, right? So even that needs to be kind of thought of from a young professional's perspective. How do I want to be seen by the receiver in that email? Do I want to be perceived as somebody who is less formal, or do I want to be seen as more professional? I hesitate to say it in that way, but unfortunately that might be the way it comes across.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and even just thinking in terms of, I may have a preference that you just text me when it's this quick, but you have to remember, if your preference is email and you don't keep your phone on you, that might get in the way of even just my work if I leaned on my own preference. And that can be true regardless of the age gap, but sometimes there is an age gap that makes those differences more prevalent. And just because I don't have any problem using a smiley face in an email doesn't mean that somebody else might think, oh, they thought this wasn't a formal conversation we were having.
I think we can end with this, and I think this is a really unique opportunity. I think the more senior folks have the opportunity to learn if they come with the right mindset. At the same time, the younger professional has an opportunity to learn, because I think if businesses that are going to be successful in the future are going to be able to adapt to that changing environment, right? It is going to change, and it's going to shift as the younger professional gets more experienced and older. But if we can recognize that sooner as opposed to later, I think it's a two-way street. It's not just the younger person adapting. I think it's the more seasoned folks adapting and kind of meeting in the middle, if you will.
Both sides having a little more grace for each other, I think, where if I think it's odd you sent me an email and you think it's odd I put a smiley face in my email, remembering to think about, oh, that doesn't mean what it means to me. That's okay.
I think seeking to understand is probably a good mindset to be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.